and it opened up to that implant. So they had to remove the implant, and they had to remove all of the stuff around it. So they decided to just remove the one side, my left side, and the right side is still in place. However, it is lower and kind of off to the side, but it's still there. Hey guys, how you all doing? Sorry it's been so long. I know a lot of you have been asking for a quick update or a video, and I always forget that you guys here on YouTube aren't always my friends or don't follow me on Instagram, so don't always get my updates either on Instagram or Facebook. So this is going to be a pretty quick video. And sorry if the lighting's off or whatever, because I'm just throwing this together and going to throw it onto YouTube to update you all. It's probably been about a month or over a month, and I'm really sorry. As many of you know, I was doing chemo. I was having problems with my dosage and getting sick, and I also had this tumor that I called my gaping hole. It was getting bigger and bigger and getting worse, and I got infected. It got infected twice. Before it got infected the third time, I got so sick the same week that my oldest son got sick, and he was so worried for me that he ended up calling 911, and I'm very thankful he did. He showed a lot of maturity, and I ended up in the hospital. It turned out they thought I had one infection, and they found out I had two infections, one that was not normal for my situation, and I went in on, I guess it was today's Wednesday, and I went in last Wednesday, somewhere like that. And within 2 days, I was told I was having surgery the next day to have that area cleaned out. And what happened is the gaping hole ended up opening up to my left implant. I have implants. For those of you who don't know, I had originally breast cancer back in 2010. I had a bilateral mastectomy, expanders placed, the expanders removed, implants placed, I had chemo, radiation, everything. And I was okay with that. And then I ended up with melanoma, and then now I'm dealing with both melanoma and triple negative breast cancer, separate from the other breast cancer. And with this one, I ended up with that gaping hole, which was the tumor, along with other ones. And it opened up to that implant. So they had to remove the implant, and they had to remove all of the stuff around it. I asked them to remove the other side. They said basically they didn't want to open up Pandora's box. If you don't know what that means, basically you never know what you're going to get when you open another thing up. They didn't want to cause any more problems, and they already knew that I was having a hard time fighting infections, and so they didn't want to add any more fight to my body, things that I had to fight. And they were really worried that, and still are, that I'm not even going to be able to fight this and fight off this infection and make it so that my body can heal from the surgery that I had. So they decided to just remove the one side, my left side, and the right side is still in place. However, it is lower and kind of off to the side, but it's still there. So I'm not planning on having any more reconstruction. I'm not planning on having another implant placed at this moment. The only thing I can do is work really hard and work with my team on healing this side and getting rid of the infection. So at the moment, the best decision for me was to be placed on hospice. And I know a lot of you are probably gasping, oh no, you can't go on hospice, that means you're giving up. Hospice has changed a lot in the years. It was really the only option to be able, that I had, and the only option that I could do that would fight, that I could work the hardest at fighting this infection, healing this from the surgery. And my goal is, of course, to heal and hopefully go back to my wound care doctor and he say you're healed, and then maybe go back to my oncologist and he say I'm healthy enough to start chemo again. That's my goal. I know that's a little unconventional when it comes to going on hospice to most people, because most people find out very late in the game that they have stage 4 cancer and that they're dying, and they get placed on hospice and it's like weeks and they're past. But there are people who go years, like a year or two, and there are people who go, a few weeks, a few months, and then they end up realizing that their body's healing and they get taken off of hospice. That's the goal for me, and that's what I'm going to ask all of you to pray, and I'm going to ask all of you to, support me in. Continue real hard working with hospice to heal from the surgery and fight this infection and get over it, so that I can go back, get off of hospice, go back onto, I guess it's called palliative care. Do a form of chemo that I was doing before. Now remember, the chemo is not a curative chemo. It is only to prolong my life and to lower or lessen the symptoms that the cancer is giving me. This surgery has caused my lymphedema to go crazy. I have a video about lymphedema, and I'll post it below if you are unfamiliar with when I say lymphedema. But this is my normal arm, and yes, I have lost a lot of weight. So this is my normal arm, and I can't even lift up this whole thing. But this is my lymphedema arm. Now, I had surgery on this side, so any kind of surgery, including for me a hangnail, which isn't a surgery, it's just a kind of hiccup in your lymphatic system, for me, can cause lymphedema, which causes my lymph nodes to, they don't work because I have lymph nodes removed back with all of my treatment, and I had lymph nodes radiated. So they've been damaged, and they, my body collects lymph fluid on that side, because that's the side I had it. So pray that my lymphedema gets under control on that side, because it's very painful. I am not going to show what my surgery looks like. Let's just say I had quite a few stitches. They went around, they went this way, then down. And if anyone's ever seen, I guess, heart surgery, open heart surgery, my dad had it, and it really resembles that. It doesn't resemble anything like when I had my breasts removed before. So for me also, I had that gaping hole in the middle. So I have an area that they weren't able to close with the stitches. So there's an area in the middle that's still open, and it is still quite infected. So I have a lot of pus and stuff in that area. And being a single mom, it's very hard to come home to a house and sit around and heal. And I'm struggling. I haven't been home very long, but I've had a lot of normal cleaning to do to catch up, because I was sick and my son was sick, and the whole house needs to be cleaned, and I have a cat, and it wasn't a good idea for me to go cleaning, but I didn't clean very bad or very hard, but it was too much for me. And I have had a fever a few times, and I've already popped a few of my stitches, and the infection's getting worse. So I don't have the money to have someone come and clean my house. I do have hospice, which I just got today, the part that's going to help me if I need, help doing the dishes or vacuuming. They'll probably come once a week or once every other week. So pray for that. Of course, as always, pray for the finances while I obviously am still not able to work. That's nothing new, but and thank you all for your wonderful, kind comments and your continual prayers, because I've already been reading lots of them, and they really do help me and they keep me going. And I know I am not going to probably be able to do as much videoing. Oh, I do have videos that I need to edit and put up. Obviously, the first few days in the hospital, I didn't even pull out my camera. I didn't even come out from underneath the covers. I was so sick. People came to visit, and I don't even remember when I was in the hospital and when I was at home. So, but the videos that I have, I'll try to video them, and I will try to get them up and as quick as I can. All right. So I will catch with you all later. If you want to try to keep up with me, like daily or at least weekly, the information for my Instagram is below, so go ahead and join and follow me on Instagram, okay? I gotta go catch my phone. It's probably my son telling me we need to go. Bye-bye, guys. Have a nice day. And thank you again for your prayers and comments.